is back. Hello, everyone. I'm looking at this and I'm crying. Oh my god. Okay, it said like some warnings, like be prepared for like I think it said gore. Maybe no. I don't know. But just be prepared. Because if any of you who know creepypasta, it's all that creepy shit. This one specifically is for Jeff the Killer, I think. You know, the guy, pasty white, has no eyelids. The smile, cut smile, that guy. Yeah, that guy. So be prepared for what you're about to stare at. I'm sorry, I can't take this. Oh shit. Boom. No, don't show this. How do I not show this? Hang on. Nobody look. Nobody look at me making art. Okay, pretend. Oh shit. Megan, what did you do? Hang on. Ah, shit. Okay. Yeah, there's violence, murder, stalking, abuse, manipulation, all that shit. It's mature 18. Just know that. Please be careful watching this. Ooh, Okay. Okay, now it's showing. It's on easy mode. What does my life come to? The room was silent, illuminated by a warm midday light flickering through the window. You looked Anywhere but your therapist. Hi. Hi, therapist. I don't. I think I'm in love. With who? A murderer. But he's a murderer. But he's kinda cute. Oh shit. With your therapist, you didn't yet feel comfortable enough to speak freely. Attending these sessions felt like a chore, more than for you, more than for your own good. It seemed like a way to keep an eye on you, therapist. You know, you have no obligation to talk about him. The therapist watched you patiently, leaning calmly against the back of his armchair. You could talk to me whenever about whatever you want. You scoffed ironically, offering no reply. It had been 7 years. 7 years. It's been 7 years. 7 years since I've seen him, Doc. It had been 7 days. Enough time for someone to change, don't you think? Instinctively, you raised your hand to the left side of your face where a patch covered your left eye. He hurt you. There's no doubt about it. The police, the hospital, everyone was there, has their version, but I want yours. You shrugged. That's fine. Silence is an answer. You looked towards the window. Your reflection silhouette was visible in the glass. Even though you couldn't see yourself clearly, your posture and expression were noticeably different from a week ago. Day 1. You're like... Where am I? Where do I work at? Is this, not Best Buy. Blockbuster? Why do they have 4 of the same thing? Your sister started. The start of your shift is like your life start button. You have a clear routine: wake up, work, and sleep. You have no legacy, no ambitions, no pending matters. You fulfilled your duties as a student and finished school, but lack the motivation to pursue a dream or a goal beyond where you are now. You feel as if you don't have any starring role in the world because nothing special has happened to you yet. In fact, one could say you let apathy guide you. An apathy that numbs your strong emotions. A roller coaster ride, pleasant. You trip and fall face first in public, not the end of the world. Positive or negative, your emotional range was very low. Like a perfect blank canvas. Anyways, you try to make your life as comfortable as possible. As strange as it sounds, you work at the video store that only attracts nostalgics and cinephiles. You love movies. Movies are okay. Well, I mean, what do I like? I like movies. Movies are nice. They're okay, but I mean, Spider-Verse. That's a good movie. You love movies. Yeah, I love movies. The main reason you took this job is because you like it. You could spend hours watching movies and never get bored. The place is colorful enough not to depress you just by being there. And if you're lucky, you might run into an interesting character or two. Of course, besides the characters that already exist. Hello, Sailor! Catching up on lost time. For a moment, I thought you wouldn't come. Cindy, your coworker. She's not very good at her job. Which is saying a lot, since being an attendant at a time-lost store doesn't require much effort. But she's the owner's daughter. You're the other full-time employee. You do well. You don't get along great, nor terribly. You tolerate each other. Where's your badge? Instinctively, you reach for your neck, and indeed, your employee badge wasn't there. It's strange, but I feel like you can't say your name without your badge. Cindy shrugged and retreated to the back room with a full box of movies. Somehow, what she said made sense. It was as if you couldn't remember your own name unless it was written right in front of you. As if names only existed if someone spoke them out loud. Oh, does this mean I get to write my own name? You remember taking out... You remember taking it out of your things when you arrived. So, it was most likely still in the store. Let's check out one. Among the shelves full of action movies, your badge was nowhere to be found. You leaned down, try a better look at the floor, hoping your badge was somewhere around. You moved down a small aisle determined past the shelves, packed with horror movies and thrillers, till you spotted the... What the fuck? Unmistakable piece of plastic, almost at the end of the aisle. A white hand got to it where you reach for your badge, but a white hand got to it first, slowly picking up the piece of plastic. Picking up the plastic piece. I wonder who it could be. I can't take him seriously. Hello. You looked up and found yourself facing a tall man. His face was covered. He looked like a potential criminal or someone with a bad cold, but you couldn't have the energy to worry. You straightened up and stand face to face. The man seemed to ignore you, more interested in your badge than his hand. What voice would Jeff the Killer have? This yours? This yours? I can't. His voice muffled by the fabric. This yours? the forest. It was deep and slightly raspy. He nodded silently and looking up at the man suspiciously. By the way, he cocked his head. Perfect. Bitch, what the fuck? Give me my damn badge. Yeah, you can finally visualize your name. Megan. I'm sorry, I'm just staring at this man dead eyes. What happened, Jeff the Killer? Why are you all red everywhere? It look like you got a little bit of a rash. The man looked at the badge in silence, and for a moment you truly thought you might have been wrong after all, but then offered you the piece of plastic. Alright, Megan. Alright, Megan. This looks so stupid. You look at the badge in your hands, giving the guy a look. I'm gonna give him the smolder. Mock him? No, let's be nice. I am a nice person, and I don't do that. We don't mock not nice. Thank him. Thank you, mister. Don't call me that, I'm not old. Okay. Not that old. I thought he was wearing shorts. I'm like, are you wearing cargo shorts? What the fuck? Sorry, but I have no way of knowing when I can't see your face. Guess you have a point. Besides, the skin on your hands, I can't tell if you're exactly a young fella. Yeah, I get it. The guy's voice sounded irritated. Part of you said you should be more sweet with customers, but if you manage to annoy him with your chatter, you could consider it an achievement. This guy gave you bad vibes. You silently put the badge around your neck while he remained. Don't judge me, Jeff. I'm just trying to be me. While he remained motionless in his spot, you slowly moved towards the counter. The guy stared at you as you moved, which only made your discomfort worse. Oh man, I wonder who that guy was. You decided to ignore him, shifting your attraction to one of the monitors next to you. You could, if the hooded guy from before would stop wandering around the stores so suspiciously. You tried your best to ignore him, but it was impossible not to notice him. Maybe he was doing it on purpose? Hey, Megan. The sound of your name, you looked at Sydney, who had come around the counter to stand next to you. Did you see that guy? He's been down there for a long time. He looked down where she was subtly pointing, and of course she was talking about the same guy. Yeah, I saw him. You shrugged. A very logical reaction, right? Maybe he's deciding what to buy. He was probably just a weirdo you'd see once, no big deal. Itchy nose, itchy nose. Anyways, Cindy, as annoying as she wasn't really flustered. Wasn't easily flustered. He's just a weirdo. We see those every day. But this one feels different. You were trying to believe Sydney had watched many movies, but then you remembered she didn't like cinema and only worked in her dad's store. When I talked to him, he didn't seem dangerous. I thought, wait, is he behind? He's right behind me, isn't he? Sydney turned to you, surprised. You talked to him? Did he say anything strange? Yeah, he said, fuck you. No. He just gave me back my badge. Why did he have it? I mean, he grabbed it first. Look, I wasn't a big deal. Cindy looked at you in silence for a few seconds, then sighed. If he makes you uncomfortable, ask him to leave. Sydney shook her head, glancing at the guy. You're probably right. Okay, I'll leave it to you. I'll leave you to it. I'll go check on the inventory. Sure. You settled in your designated chair before you could pretend to look at the recipients. Sydney spoke again. But if he does anything suspicious, let me know, okay? You nodded slightly. Cindy didn't wait for a verbal response. She just went back to her task. You kept your eyes fixated on the monitor for a moment. At the corner of your eye, you glanced at the aisles. The guy was still there, just standing. He was looking at the shelf that held nothing particularly interesting, and then he looked at you. It wasn't a quick or distracting. It wasn't. Let me get a quick drink of water, actually. Come here, water bottle. Okay. Oh. No. Okay. It was direct. Meet his gaze. Yeah, meet his gaze. I want to just be like, I want to blink at him. I'm gonna look at him like with like, you know, that funny meme of that person sitting down with the big eyelashes and blinking. That's gonna be me. Meet his gaze. I heart plus. He returned his gaze with the same intensity. You didn't know if you you didn't know if you were doing it out of bravery, stubbornness, or simple curiosity. But he didn't blink. And he made a slight gesture. An almost impeccable nod of a head. I don't know if I said that right. As if he were greeting you. Ah, sweet. I'm awesome. I'm making friends. You decided to ignore him and turn your attention back to the monitor to remove the CD from the player. You put the CD back in its case and looked at your options. Oh, ooh. I do like fantasy. Romance, not so much. Horror? Depending. Comedy, I like. No, this is What's Evil. I love musicals. I'm a sucker for a musical. But it has to be a banger. You know what, we'll go with the one that I liked the most recent. What was the recent movie I saw this week? We're not going with romance. We're not going with... I save my options. I really do like musicals. Fantasy would always be like somewhere in the lower categories. I hate sci-fis. Sorry, I had to spray myself with perfume. Anyways, so what do I want? What would be the right answer? What would you like, Jeff the Killer? What was the recent movie I've seen? I think it was a horror movie. Yeah. Yeah, I think the last movie I saw was actually a horror movie. We saw, me and my friend, we saw, Black Phone 2. Yeah, I think that's what we saw. If that was the right one. I'm pretty sure that was the right one. Yeah, Black Horror. I really liked that movie. It was pretty good. You enjoy the scares and the atmosphere that horror movies create. You were about to pick a movie, so all of a sudden the sound of someone leaning on the counter in front of you distracted you. Oh, hello! Oh, he's so beautiful. This is so stupid. Again, the stranger was there, this time in front of you, looking intently at the CD in your hand. Stares at the CD. She likes horror movies. Oh my god, she's so hot. What movie are you going to put on? Wait, an internet. What movie are you gonna put on? I can't do a guy voice. Excuse me? I wanna know what movie you're gonna put on. Is it a crime? No, of course not, but come on, I'm undecided. Maybe you can inspire me. He looked at him in silence for a moment, then sighed with weariness. Shit. No, I haven't seen that one. I saw The Exorcist. I did see The Exorcist, but I don't think he's ghost guy. He's stabby guy. You know, my friend really wants to see the Scream with me, like the first one. So I'm gonna put on the Scream. Oh, he likes it, of course. Oh. Ew. Classic slasher. Interesting. Well, did that help you decide? Oh, don't look at me like that. The guy cocked his head. Now he knew for sure that was his way of showing of mockery. A little. Though what caught my attention most was the genre you chose. You raised an eyebrow. Oh yeah, and what about it? Horror. His tone dropped. Interesting choice. It always says something about a person who prefers it. Like what? You're looking to feel for something real. You're looking to feel for something real. Or you wanna face your fear. Right, or that you want to have, or you want your fear to have a face. Something you can understand, even if it means danger. His words were soft. I never knew. I never knew he could be so gentle. but he's a murderer! This is so fucking stupid. His words were so soft, but they prick like needles under your skin. Or maybe I have, or maybe I like strong emotions without putting myself at risk like everyone else. But you're not like everyone else. Well, that phrase needs to be removed from a visual novel bingo card. He moved a little closer to the counter. Didn't invade your space, but it was as if he caressed it. Dear God, please. You don't seem to be afraid. Should I be? Depends. Do you prefer horror from the outside? Or have it staring back at you? It looks like he's just chilling. That's really stupid. He's just like, I'm gonna go with it. I guess it depends on how pretty the face of horror is. He tilted his head slightly as if you had said something he didn't quite expect. But he didn't seem quite surprised either. Wow. Yeah, I know, I'm pretty hot, am I? I'm the hottest thing you've ever seen, baby. Now get in my Little Pony decorated bed with my bluey stuffed animal. I am not a child on the inside, I swear. You're gonna love this autistic mind. Keep in mind that sometimes pretty things bite too. You bite too? Oh my god, I bite all the time. Just chomps on his neck. I bite all the time. Wow. He glanced at the shelves for a second, as if looking for something, but it was obvious he wasn't. Or maybe he liked being bitten. Okay, slow down. Who knows? Slow down, Jeff the Killer. I'm good. I like to bite, but I don't like being bitten. He shrugged as if downplaying his own words. He extended a finger and drew circles on the surface of the counter. Oh, are you nervous? Pretending to think, ignoring you. But I'm aware of your presence. For your mental sanity. For your mental sanity's sake, you need to hurry. You needed him to hurry it. Oh my god, I need to be subtle. I don't want to hurt his feelings. Don't let me hurt his feelings. You cleared your throat and clenched your fist. Are you gonna pick something? You're a bit impatient, huh? Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to. Relax, I'm just playing. Ugh. You glance back, searching for Sydney, just to feel some security that you weren't on your own. But unfortunately, you didn't see her anywhere. Without asking, he reached a hand over the counter. Jeff! Oh my god! I'm Jeff. I think it's time we formally introduced ourselves, don't you, Megan? Your gaze dropped to his hand. High five! Save that. Return. Shake his hand. Jeff held your hand gently as if he wanted to make his touch seem harmless. Cute. His fingers didn't squeeze, they didn't pull away immediately either. The coldness of the gesture didn't seem to bother you. On the contrary, it amused him. You finally let go of your hand like someone dropping something they'd inspected enough. I'm doing it. As someone who works in the store, you should convince the customer to buy as much as possible, but you told yourself Jeff could take his sweet time. I'm having fun. You watched him in silence for a few seconds, observing the posture. If he was insistent on prolonging the interaction, you are allowed to make him uncomfortable too, right? What do you work for? What do you do for work? So put the bandana. Are you single? No, let's go with something simple. We all know what he does for work. Murder. Huh? What does that have to do with anything? Oh, well, are you a freelancer? What the fuck? No! So, you're unemployed? Well, technically, yes. Hey, nothing to be ashamed of. Your opportunity will come. I don't want to hear it from you. What's that supposed to mean? You figure it out. I felt like I did it wrong. I'm sorry. Hang on, now we gotta go back. Okay, I want news of me. Hey, single. Jeff stumbled in place, turning your gaze to you. You remained silent for a few seconds, recovered from the initial surprise, then tilted his head with a teasing touch. What if I'm not? It's just so funny. Flirt. I have two hands. I wouldn't mind sharing. You rested your chin on your hand, raising your eyebrows playfully. Jeff cleared his throat against his bandana, hiding what you suspected was a chuckle. At least you made him laugh. Well, did you decide on what to get? Oh, shit. Hit my headphones. Jeff refocused his attention on you. Wow. Seem like you really want to get rid of me? I want to answer sarcastically. No, not at all. I love wasting time with weirdos who walk in circles as if they're lost in a supermarket. Jeff's eyes widen. Hey, that's mean. You're gonna make me cry. He clutched his chest dramatically, then chuckled again. This time his laugh was softer, more genuine. I don't know if this was a funny, because I talked to you, because I don't know if this was funny because I talked to you, or because I ruined your day. This statement came out with unsettling frankness. You didn't know how to react, but you knew that in the end Jeff had done things on purpose. At least you admitted you weren't you weren't exactly a delight. Sure, I'm not an idiot. I know what kind of reaction I get from people. Jeff shrugged and tilted his head, questioning and mocking. Do you treat all customers like this, or am I special? You couldn't help but let out a small laugh at his words. You know what? I don't usually spend this much energy on strangers, but you earned it. Horty hor hor. Hor 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 hor. It's hydrate or dihydrate. Jeff straightened up suddenly, pleased, as if he had been told he achieved a great feature. I'll take it. For a moment, you thought Jeff meant he appreciated your words until you noticed his eyes were fixated on the movie you had chosen to put in the player. Oh, great. You said with a relief finally Jeff would take something. And it was something you knew he'd like. You felt good about doing your job well, after all. Thanks for shopping with us. He nodded, taking the movie in its bag and headed to the exit. It was a pleasure, Megan. Bye-bye! He waved goodbye and you reciprocated with your own hand, though not as enthusiastically as his. Oh my god, I made him skip away. He was skipping and hopping away. Oh my god. Well, you managed to sell something to the weirdo of the day. It was an accomplishment after all. Your workday was over. All in all, it was quiet. Night had fallen, but there was no worry since you lived a few blocks away. Some things were just convenient like that. This week, it was Sydney's turn to close the store. Since you two were almost in the same position, you decided that closing duties would be by turns. So you had things ready to go home. Are you gonna be okay? Sure, why would I be? That guy seemed a bit fixated on you. You scoffed ironically. Come on me? Yeah, like, I don't get it either. Okay, ouch. But, like, what if he follows you? That's not gonna happen. He left hours ago. There's no way he stayed lurking around here. Like, I don't know. your danger sensor isn't very accurate, I'd say. Danger is a subjective. Like, that's not true. Why do you care so much? I thought you hated me. Sydney was surprised at your words. Oh my god, Sydney, do you care for me? I don't care for you, bitch. Ugh. I want him. I want him. Sorry, I'm watching Slime Circle and all I see is Kanito. Kanito with him sticking up his thumbs. Sydney was surprised at those words and reverted her gaze, playing with the mop handle in her hands, cleaning before closing. Like, I don't hate you. I just think being with you is boring. Yeah, well, you're not exactly life of the party. Like, I don't mean in a bad way, really. I, like, feel peaceful with you. Oh. You're, like, disregarded for everything. Your disregard for everything could be tiresome, but, like, also comforting. In a way. You scratched your head, not knowing how to react to Sydney's words. She never said anything nice to you until now. Sydney cleared her throat, looking away with an embarrassed grimace. Like, what I mean is, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. She took a step towards her and placed a hand on her shoulder, smiling calmly. I'll be fine. Just because something weird happened doesn't mean the universe was deciding to turn against me. You shared one final farewell gesture before you closed the door behind you. The store sign indicated closed, and you sighed, feeling the weight of adult life in a capitalistic world lifting a little from your shoulders. Just a little. It was a part of the routine, saying goodbye to Sydney and finally going home. You lived on your own since you started working, so you had no extra responsibilities to worry about, which gave you space to focus on your own needs. It wasn't an extraordinary life, but it was functional. You worked during the weekend. You worked during the week, earned money for rent and bills, and rested on the weekends. Even though the street was well, the atmosphere remained gloomy as you walked towards your apartment. It always had been like this. Nothing to fear, right? Uh-oh. Music changed. I hear barely at all. Oh, there it is. It was then that you felt an arm being pulled violently. Felt like your arm being pulled violently to one side. Maybe you should have been more alert. You were dragged into an alley beside a street. It was slightly darker, but a streetlight nearby allowed you to distinguish what was in front of you. Since the sudden action disoriented you, you were slow to react. Megan and me. What the fuck? Owie, my head. The sound of a slight blow to the side of your head interrupted you. Sorry, something on my lip. Interrupted you, and you realized the person had cornered you against a brick wall. cornered you against the brick wall behind you. You glanced at the person's arm, familiar sleeve covered. Oh no. White sleeve covering an arm reaching from your blind spot. You grew tired of the suspense and finally looked up at the person who had cornered you. You had an idea who it might be. Hola! Dude. What the fuck is up with your mouth? Where's your nose? You look like fucking Voldemort. You look like... I'm sorry, man. I can't... Me in this alleyway. Man, I can't take you seriously with that look on your face. Can you put back on the bandana and we can talk? Please? Megan, we meet again. Uncertainty filled you at the sight of the white scarred face. Jeff had removed his hood and bandana, revealing his face. His skin varied in colors and textures, his nose sunken. His milky white blue eyes were deep set. Right, his milky blue eyes were deep set in dark circles. And you were certain you hadn't seen him blink once. But what caught your attention most was the scar that ran across his mouth. Uh-oh, did I give that to him? Ooh, whoopsies. It didn't look like a clean cut. And the way it distorted his expression sent a... Oh wait, are we talking about this? I thought we were talking about that. I don't... sent a silver shiver down your spine. You amused his face... Wait, amused? You assumed his face would have imperfections he want to hide to avoid stares from strangers, but considering the bizarre situation, it wasn't surprising. Jeff? Uncertainty, you uncertainly... Jeff, I'm sorry. Can't speak. Uncertainly, you were at a disadvantage. Here you were... So you were... I can't even read. So you tried to think of ways to turn the tables. Wow. Who would have thought at night someone alone, gloomy alley. Wow, who would have thought at night someone alone, gloomy alley, a classic. Jeff chuckled at your sarcasm. You don't jump the egg, huh? Oh, hello. Then he pulled a knife out of his pocket. Now make sure you give me a good show. Kiss him. Kiss him, confuse him, and then run away. His voice raspy, accelerated with a anxious tone. I'm sorry, I'm giggling at the part where I'm just like, kiss him and confuse him. With an anxious tone, he seemed impatient. Show? Fear is exquisite. Yummy. He whispered almost and unnecessarily poetically. Jesus. And unnecessarily poetically. Leaning towards you, his breath grazing your face. Hey, no offense, but your whole approach feels very cliche. He tilted his head to the side. You would have sworn it was the equivalent of raising an eyebrow. If he had eyebrows. This isn't time for jokes, don't you think? Yeah, well, I really don't know what motivated you to attack me. I thought we were getting along. This is me right now. I'm giggling the whole time when I'm talking with him. Just like, dude, what the fuck? And Jeff presses the width of the blade against your cheek, cold metal against your warm skin. Are you are you asking what makes you special? This is being special having you drag me to a dark alley? Wow, I must not be very popular. He snorted in annoyance. Grabbed your shoulder with the hand that cornered you and slammed you against the wall behind you. You felt your head hit the rough texture of the hard surface, making you wince. Ow. Okay. Save. Jeff, I thought we had something. Okay. Me with the stitch gif. Or gif. And it's like, okay. Just hits me with the palm tree. Apologize? Sorry, okay? Didn't mean to make you angry. Jeff stretched his already wide smile and lowered his knife. The moment you felt relief, not seeing the blade, from not seeing the blade, a pang in your stomach hit you. Ah, what the fuck, man? No, I don't like this. You don't kill me. We're making a joke. Tease him. You live. Harder. Harder, daddy. He releases you and steps a couple phases back, as if you burned him. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you, man. His expression reflected surprise. It was a bigger reaction than you expected. Relax, I'm just kidding. That wasn't funny. It was to me. Shut up, this shouldn't be funny. It should be. You should be afraid. Oh, did I make sad little murder boy real sad little shit? You approached your wrist and knife to your neck. Instinctively, you pulled away from the blade, feeling the tip pierce your chin. You're in an alley at night with a knife to your throat. So I'll ask you again, are you afraid? No. Fuck Jeff. You didn't feel like dealing... Fuck, Jeff, you didn't really feel like dealing with this sadistic madman. Keep participating. Oh, so that's how it is. Oh, okay then, fine. Yeah. I'm determined to make this man my love. I'm making you my bitch. Jeff hadn't made much of an impression on you. You're aware. Your situation is dangerous, but it really couldn't matter less to you. But anyways, it seemed fun to see what would happen if you messed with him. For now, you decided to play along. You know what? Yes, I am afraid. Jeff recovered his spirits, extending his wide smile. He lowered his knife, but kept it in his hands. He wasn't threatening you, but maybe he wanted to he wanted to keep having fun with you. Good. That's what I wanted to hear. Typical men. Typical men. Now, what scares you about me? Dude, I don't like your eyes. Your mouth, they're fine. Eyes, fix that. She's fearing his victims. For now, you managed to keep him happy enough to maintain a conversation with you. But maybe he wanted to dig even deeper. Perhaps he liked knowing in details what provoked his victims. That's funny. Can you accept the challenge of indulging him? Not his voice. You're going to kill me. Ding ding, we have a winner. What's the prize? I could think of a few. This would be more fun than I thought it would be. Anyways, why are you attacking me? Jeff stared at you in silence for a few seconds, his smile static. You felt like demanding he blink. I think killing you will be fun. Great. You hoped he was just a simple thief going through an angsty teenage phase and only wanted to scare you, but it turns out he was a madman and genuinely intended on murdering you. You hit the jackpot. And I thought I had won your heart. Oh. That takes a lot more than just one day. That seemed like useful information. But for the future, you should focus on surviving now. I know. Let's play a game. Play what? A simple game of tag. Can I have a knife too? What happens if I win? I'll let you go. And that's what you'd like me to say. He was an idiot. A very dangerous idiot. You had to choose carefully. I chase you. Can I chase him, please? I chase you. Jeff stumbled over his words, not having expected that response. Dude, did I just tap into some, like, Vietnam flashbacks? The fact that I wanted to play tag with you? Childhood trauma unlocked. Jeff straightened up over you, analyzing you in silence. Oh, dude. 6 feet. 6 feet. His face was strangely expressionless. You assumed because his mouth was mangled, and it was, as it was, he was condemned to have that same expression permanently. He's joking me, suddenly feeling your neck being squeezed tightly. It's hard to breathe. Distinctly, you raise your hand to pull Jeff's arms. Try to fight. Fear me. Why do you want me to fear you, man? You look like a weird fish. You look like a... The complaint sounded almost childish despite coming from a threatening man. You tried to respond, but you being anything, but your vocal cords were being squeezed too tight. You managed to hear his murmuring before you felt the pressure of your neck being... Hear his murmuring before you felt the pressure of his neck. His hands remained on your neck, but only pressed enough to immobilize you. You coughed and gasped for air, trying to recover for your breathing. But then you realized Jeff was almost on top of you again with a knife in hand. You felt a pang in your cheek. Am I getting a smile too? Wow. Jeff made a clean cut on your skin of your left cheek, and you felt a trickle of thin line of blood on your jaw. Why aren't you afraid? Busty, I lost my eye. Can you see? Jeff examined you in silence, as if your reaction would give him a satisfying answer. My heart. This is so stupid. It wasn't as if you... Heartbeat. It wasn't as if you didn't really feel anything. You recognized the situation was very dangerous. Your body knew from the strong pounding of your heart. But it had been from the start, you didn't care. But as it had been from the start, you just didn't care. He wanted you to fear him, but since he was threatening your life, and you didn't truly care about dying, consequently, you didn't fear him. Much drama for this. He's just a generic killer, stalking a victim and luring him into an alley. I don't think I'm living this way. Jeff suddenly extended his mouth, corked up, at the strange sight. It was hard to see, but... Oh my god, Jesus Christ. You lowered your gaze. Kill me. You lowered your gaze not out of fear, rather out of weariness. You would leave him... What would you leave behind if you died? Not much. So you didn't care anymore. I'm sorry, Jeff. I don't have fear to give you. What the fuck was that? Jeff, I don't scare you. They scare me. Jeff remained silent for a second until you noticed his smile simply widen. He slowly leaned towards you and looked. You, dude. Dude, you ruined it. Maybe the light up lit away. Dude, do you understand now that I have to go to the hospital? I could get my wound infected. Did you know a dog's mouth is fucking cleaner than This is his breath brushed against her skin, warm and damp. Ew. The touch of his stop. The touch of his tongue burned on the wound, making you hiss. What the fuck? What the fuck? You couldn't accept him licking you. He was just being weird. But you couldn't shake off what he wanted to tell you with that action. No. Plead. No. Tease. Lick me. How romantic. I'm melting. Maybe if you tease him enough, he'll leave you alone. You have to try. He growled and gritted his teeth, slamming you against the brick wall again. You let out a groan of pain on the impact. Why don't you fear me? I don't know what you want from me, Jeff. He lowered his head, seemingly disappointed. He glanced around hesitantly, not knowing what to do. He then straightened up again. His smile so wide, on his lips. There's nothing I can do if you don't fear death. I can't make you fear me. Okay. He raised his knife again, not to stab a vital spot, but instead to slowly level with your left eye. I'm your pupil. I'm going to hunt you. Every time I catch you, I'll hurt you, and every time you avoid me, I'll back off a little. Dude, what kind of romance novel is this shit? His eyes trembled almost white, like two spotlights in the dark. Wait, you lost the first round. Pushing his hand forward. Ah, my eyeball. I thought I lost my eye. Fine, we're going back. Alright. Excellent! Yeah, I'm sorry, I haven't even been reading. You didn't want to be the victim, the victim of a murder after all. If you had to die, you'd prefer to die painlessly. 4, 2, 4, 6. What? That bastard is counting wrong. You're phone adjusting what he said. Expect from a madman. You burst out of the alley, almost falling, but adrenaline kept you going. Go left, go right. Let's go right. Take refuge with Sydney. You reached the door and tried to open it, but it was locked. You pounded on the door forcefully. You could not. Sydney, open quickly. You're drumming of your heart among movie racks. Mopping a floor. Sydney, you bitch, open the door! Your shouts didn't seem to be heard, and in the mop hand wasn't the first Sydney. You're right. You choked on your own blood and spine liquid. Felt something spilling from the side of your stomach. Bleeding, impossible. You slid down to the ground and felt the puddle of blood draining. Suddenly noticed in the end, she was real case. Go left. You'll be safe at home. You cheated, no matter what, it doesn't matter. Fine, fine. I guess I was doing it right. Nick, but we played as you wanted. Huh. That was refreshing. But I'm bored now. Ew. Ew. I thought this was on safe mode. Where I don't die. Okay, so give me the pain. You lost the first round. What the fuck is this place? to your eyeball. Ack. Ack. You choked on your saliva on the verge of vomiting the unbearable pain. Your hands flailed at Jeff's chest. You didn't move him an inch. You shook the knife handle into your arm. Still connected by your veins. What's happening? Is anyone there? Like heavenly bells, you managed to hear voices of other people coming from nearby and had the strength to stand. You collapsed to the ground. My eyeball! Your left socket bleeding from a raw wound. Your vision blurry and damaged. There was no way to trust what you saw. You could only focus on what you heard. Again. His voice echoed from behind. So wait, this is how we lost our eye. Your way, so you surrendered to the exhaustion and pain. Day 2. Felt so much pain before. Dude, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened? What the fuck? You stumbled and scampered to your knees and buried your fingers with the boiling water as normal. But this is another level. It was physical pain that was bothering you, miss. It was the kind of pain that made you aware of everything that was happening mattered more than you wanted it to. The pain that wakes you up, forces you to exist, rips you from the comfort of feeling nothing. To top it off, you wanted to sleep. Sleeping had always been the best plan in any situation. But of course, life loves to ruin your plans. Are you awake? The voice of Jeff, masculine, educated tone, inspired your confidence. You didn't immediately wake up, but you felt your body heavy with fatigue. After a couple of uncomfortable breaths, you managed to force yourself to see. White surrounded you, and you took a few seconds to realize that you're on a hospital gurney. Rough sheets smelled of disinfectant, fluorescent lights of LED bulbs. Oh my god, that beep. The good thing is there was anything good. If there was anything good, was that you received medical care. Hopefully itchy head. Hopefully they wouldn't let you die stupidly after everything you went through last night. And finally you focused on the source of the voice. Oh my god, Jacksepticeye. Oh my god. Dr. Sneep. In front of you was this man in a white coat, well-groomed and kind face. Do you know where you are? Heaven. I gotta save it to be safe. I'm in heaven. Heaven? I think I have an angel in front of me. Dr. Jekyll. I see you have the same sense of humor. That's a good sign. Aww, I hope you don't die. I love you, man. I love you. I would have said something more original, but I don't have much energy. I'll take it. Not every day someone calls me an angel while I work. He jolted down a few things on paper he carried. He seemed more amused than worried. Your voice was hoarse, and your throat hurt. Ow. Itchy leg. You swallow hard, trying to soothe the pain. The doctor gave you a serious look, as if to tell you to take it easy. Do you remember your name? Whatever he wants to call you. Whatever you want to call me. Dr. let a side chuckle, shaking his head. Answer seriously. It's Megan. It's Megan. Your voice came out hoarse, broken, clear enough for him to understand. The doctor nodded, concentrated. Evidently, he was asking you. Fuck Jeff. I want to marry this guy. He was asking you those questions to find out how disoriented your head was. Alright, do you know why you're here? He didn't answer immediately. The image just appeared on its own. Scarred face, sunken eyes, distorted smile. And the laughter, that damn laughter. Of course you knew why you were there. Someone attacked me. The doctor approached and took your hand firmly. Oh, he didn't ask if you wanted that gesture, he just did it. This is a safe place. He can't hurt you now. You stared at his hands over yours. You didn't know what was worse, the pain or how... I'm gonna be so sad if he kills you. Or how strange it felt to have someone comfort you in such proper way. Good service, you thought. Maybe they'll bring you a free coffee later. He noticed your silence and you quickly pulled his hand back. No! Yay! He likes me. He cleared his throat, embarrassed. Sorry, I haven't introduced myself. Anyways, Dr. Salazar. I'm your doctor, Paul Salazar. It took you a second to process. No shit it did. No, nice to meet you, Dr. Salazar. I'd say I would have liked to meet you in another situation, but you know. He offered a brief smile, unsure whether to laugh or apologize again. Doctor, I'll explain your situation in a bit. He straightened up, becoming more serious. You have an head injury and we need to monitor you for vomiting, dizziness, or loss of consciousness. You also have some major cuts. You don't need stitches, but no scratching or touching them. Understood? The exact moment he said it, itching attacked you. Damn suggestion. Most important thing now is you suffered an encephaliction. Don't strain yourself. Don't talk too much. If you feel dizzy or have trouble breathing, let us know. You nodded in silence and settling slowly into the gurney. The fabric gown stretched around your skin. Scratched your skin a little. The mattress smelled of disinfectant. Everything smelled of disinfectant. And about your eye. His tone changed as if he had to deliver some bad news. I'm sorry we couldn't save it. Cold, as if someone had opened a window in the middle of winter. Instinctively, you raised your hand to your left eye of your face. Just bandages, just emptiness. You had you had imagined losing things, objects, relationships, time. But this is different. Losing pieces. You'll be able to live a normal life. He said quickly, as if he wanted to remedy your situation. You'll lose some depth perception, but it won't be impended to your life. Later you can opt for a prosthetic if you wish. Now, the important thing is that it heals well. He noticed your silence. Your lack of reaction made him uncomfortable. He leaned slightly towards you. Are you okay, Megan? You will be okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I just lost my fucking eye. As your gaze. No, I'm not okay. You didn't say it with any drama or tears. You just said it because it was true. For once, you had no energy to pen. Dr. Salazar nodded slowly. You don't have to be. The silence felt heavy but not uncomfortable. It was rare for someone not to try to fill the space with empty phrases. I thought doctors were more methodological. Dr. Salazar smiled faintly, as if he understood more than what he was saying. Itching the ear. Not all doctors are cliché. For the first time in a long time, he felt less lonely, less alone. Just a little, but something was better than nothing. Is there anyone you would like to call? Any family, friend, partner? You didn't want to admit your life was solitary, but you couldn't just lie to your way to the doctor. I don't have any family. My family lives in another city. You don't talk to your family. I understand. He scratched his head awkwardly. Precisely why didn't you want to say anything in the first place? There must be someone in this city you contact with, right? Your coworker? Talking about work reminded you of a certain person. What time is it, Doctor? Dr. Salazar shook his wrist and glanced at his watch. It's 4 a.m. Why? There's someone I can call, but it's very early. Someone attacked you? They'll understand. You pursed your lips into a line with doubt. You didn't have much closeness with her, but you couldn't think of anyone else. Alright, I'll give you her number. She like... You wrote down a phone number on a piece of paper and held it out to him. Staff member will be coming by to monitor you. Oh no, is it him? You can ask them for whatever you need. Okay. Dr. Salazar nodded slightly at your affirmations and headed for the room door. But before leaving, he turned to you. When you feel better, you can talk to the police. For now, rest. Shoo, shoo, me, 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 me. With that, the doctor left the room, leaving you with your thoughts. You vaguely remember hearing people approach you when you passed out in the alley. They surely scared away Jeff. The important thing is that you're safe and monitored. There's no way Jeff can reach you, right? It wasn't strange that you worried about. Since the last thing he told you was, he will hunt you down until he found you. But again, you were in the hospital, so it was supposed to be safe. All that thinking exhausted you, so you settled into the gurney to rest. A few minutes you wanted to sleep, even if it was just for a few minutes. Uh-oh. Ha shoo, ha shoo, me 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 me. Me 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 me. Ha shoo, ha shoo. As you slept, you could have sworn you felt a caress over your cheek. It was soft, delicate fingers tracing your right cheekbone, moving down your jaw, lightly brushing your lips. Opening your single eye, you scanned the room, looking for whoever might have touched you while you slept. Oh, it's my... Oh, she's crying! But you only saw Sydney. Megan! She suddenly... Megan! She suddenly, and to your great surprise, she wrapped her arms around her shoulders, leaning in for a tight hug. You froze. I, thought you wouldn't wake up. Oh, goodness. Thank God. Thank God. Sydney pulled away from you, treating, you with delicacy, treating you with a delicacy like you weren't used to. And, is it your imagination, or is it as if Sydney were playing the role of your best friend? The girl likes you, bitch. She likes us. She was by far your best friend. You'd only known her for a little while. Okay, you were the one who gave Salazar the contact, but only because she's the closest person you had on hand. What's with all the affection? A ray seemed to strike Sydney, making her recoil with a dismay expression. I don't know, but it's like you suddenly became very, important to me. So you weren't before? Okay, one thing is you were thinking about yourself personally, but it hurt a little to hear someone else say it. When I, found what happened to you, I came right away. I didn't want you. I didn't want you to be alone right now. How are you feeling? Sydney sat in the chair right next to you. This time maintaining more cordial distance. Understandable, you only worked in the same store. A little pain, but overall I think I'm fine. Sydney lowered her gaze with concern and you raised it to you. She... She sighed heavily. You're bringing your fingers to your forehead. I told you to be careful, you dumb idiot. That comment was unnecessary. She was trying to blame you, as if what happened to you was somehow your fault, and not that bastard who ripped your eye out. I remind you, I was attacked. That was not my fault. I don't mean that. Now you were supposed to be a caring coworker. What a bad joke. Megan. It wasn't the volume of her voice nor the fact that she called you by your name. It was her heartbreaking tone that made you stop. I don't understand myself either. I don't think you mattered so much to me. Hey. You were on the verge of dying. I was terrified. It's like you started to develop a gravitational field, and like now several people are revolving around you. Jeff Salazar, Sydney. It only took a madman stalking you and ripping out your eye, right? I don't know how to explain it, but I'm worried about you. I can't stop being an idiot, and it's just I can't accept it. You couldn't help but fall silent at her declaration. You'd be lying if you said if I said your heart didn't beat fast. No, your heart didn't beat fast. Thank her. Thank you, Sydney. Sydney looked at you with covering silence. I'm not the one to say these things, but thank you for worrying about me. Sydney lowered her gaze and smiled faintly. You're not doing very good on your own, so I don't mind doing it for you. Yeah. Sydney smiled faintly, but then her expression changed. The one who attacked you, was it that same weirdo from the store? Oh no. Two people appeared. Perfect timing interrupted your conversation. Oh my god. They look so... What the fuck? Good evening, Megan. Lieutenant West and Detective Sheen. Sean. Can we ask you a few questions? I swear I didn't take the drugs. What? Nothing. And then... Wait. You looked at the police with your one eye. No, wait. With your one eye. A man and a woman dressed in formal affairs. Man spoke with a badge and did the same thing. They looked at you seriously, but same time, they didn't seem very worried about you. It's 1:44. Hang on, I gotta figure out. It seemed they were more interested in what you had to say. Your doctor told us you had visitors. If it was more comfortable with you, we can do the interview with her present. Megan, just woke up. They need a rest. Sydney spoke over her shoulder and uninterested in their presence. The sooner we talk, the sooner we catch whoever did this to you. Heat rose from your chest and to your eye socket. You didn't know if it was a response of your body or just anger towards Jeff, but you managed to hide it. It's okay, Sydney. I'll answer what I can. Detective seemed to relax at your words. You stood on the other side of the bed. Wes standing next to you, making eye contact to convey more trust while Sean looked at you taking notes. Sean looked at you taking note. Classic. A good cop, bad cop. Let's get started with the most important thing. Did you see your attacker? Oh yeah, it wasn't pretty. Can you give us more details? His social security number? You were joking, obviously. You were in a hospital bed with one eye missing on painkillers. You were allowed to have some fun. They asked you if you saw a man or a woman height. Asked you if it was a man or a woman height, clothes. I know, Sydney, geez. Nobody appreciates a joke. It was a man, white, tall, I don't know, maybe 6 feet. 6'3". 6'3". 6'3". He was wearing a white hood, terrible clothes for a criminal, if you ask me. Sydney glanced. You glanced at Sydney Ease on your right side. She had a thoughtful expression. Most likely she concluded you were talking about Jeff, or as she knew him, the weirdo from the store. And special characteristics. His face was messed up, if you know what I mean. The three of them looked at each other in silence, and you felt pressured to give more details. He had many scars, his mouth was ripped. Sydney looked disgusted with these descriptions and seemed like she was about to vomit. West and Sheen exchanged a silent glance and then looked back at you. Alright, did anything unusual happen that day of your attack? I think the normal amount of weird that we can all have in a day. Stop messing around. Sydney scolded you, not shouting, but using an elevated tone of a voice that made you pout. There was a weird guy who showed up at the store. Would you define as weird? Sydney rolled her eyes. Wow, you didn't see Sydney as someone who rebels against authority. Hang on. Itchy legs. He was very interested in Megan. Wes distracted his attention to you, raising an eyebrow. Did you interact with him? Oh, it was very awkward. He kept staring at me. Blah blah blah. Well, truthfully, I flirted with him a little. In front of everyone in the room judging you. What? It was strange, but it was almost cute. The air grew uncomfortable. Did he say anything about himself, any motive on why he left you alive? The question surprised you, as if you were surprised you had survived. He wasn't entirely wrong to ask that, since it was precisely Jeff's threat that he kept you alive. You might have relieved the part of the information, that part of information that slipped your tongue, but Cindy interrupted before you could say anything. What kind of question is that? We're building a profile of the suspect. Any details can help us. The guy literally has his face covered. He's full of scars. What more do you want? How can you find someone like that? Miss, you need to calm down. No, for the case like this, with a physical description, you should already be looking for him. The longer it takes, the further he might be. The room fell silent for a few moments. You felt awkward to the argument. You're right. We'll stop for now. But Lieutenant, Megan needs to rest. West guided Sean to the door. Or is it Sheen or Cian? I think it's Cian. To the door. I've been saying Sheen. Cian. I'm such a fucking idiot. Cian to the door. To the room exit, turning her back to you one last time. Get well. You nodded silence, watching them leave. Again, you were alone with Sydney. This time, the silence heavy with many questions. Questions that were surely to be useful for catching Jeff. Sydney mumbled to herself, ugh. How long have I been streaming right now? One hour? 2 hours? Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop this right here because I'm getting tired and it's getting late. And so I'll save it right here. And I'm gonna end the stream. Anyways, I will come back a little later or tomorrow. Not later. So,